I'd like to welcome you to the Hamilton County Board of Election meeting. Today is August the 13th, 2024, and it is 4:36. Okay. I'd like to begin and I'd also like to acknowledge that proper notice has been given as required under the Ohio Revised Code 121.22. We're going to begin our meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance, and I would like all those who have served our country or serve in our country to lead us in the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And thank you for serving our country, always. We're going to follow the agenda. Next on the agenda is approval of the board meeting minutes from July the 9th, 2024. And we've all had an opportunity to review those minutes. Has anybody, any of you guys have any recommendations for changes?
Approval of the board meeting minutes as they were sent to us via email.
Okay. All those in favor? Aye. Anyone
Oh,
abstain?
we need a second to the motion.
Need a second. Need a second, because he's usually doing this.
Chip seconded.
Second. Oh, it's the motion, anyone abstaining? That motion carries. Next on the agenda is review of voter registrations. Ms. Poland.
Yes, Administrator Chuck Eckert will be presenting the voter registration review.
Thanks, Chuck.
Certainly. Good morning. So in your packet, you will find a spreadsheet, voters registered at commercial addresses. The voters listed on the spreadsheet were mailed letters explaining their residency requirement for voting, along with a registration form and a postage-paid return envelope. We did receive some responses, and those voters were then removed from the spreadsheet in front of you. A bipartisan team was sent to inspect the properties, and photos of those properties have been provided to you as well. So the spreadsheet in front of you lists the voters currently registered at commercial addresses.
And again, a lot of these are UPS stores. We've been dealing with this for a long time. But based on, again, the commercial addresses and the confirmation, I'll make a motion that these voters all be challenged at the ballot box as pursuant to policy.
Second. Any discussion? Second. So, and just a quick question for the public to know as well. We send notification out to them, making them aware, so that when they come to vote, if they come to vote, there's no problems.
Yes, ma'am, that is correct. We will send them information after the meeting based on your decision today that they have been challenged, yes.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Motion's been made and second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Anyone abstaining? That motion carries. Thank you. Thanks, Chuck. Next on the agenda is certification of the November 5th, 2024 presidential general election questions and issues. Ms. Poland.
Yes, in your package you have a list of the questions and issues that were filed properly by the deadline for the November 5th election. Staff recommends certification.
I'll move certification of the questions and issues filed to approve the list that's in front of us here.
Need a second? Second. Any more discussion? All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Anyone abstained or opposed? That motion carries. Next, we have approval of the November 5th, 2024 presidential general election absentee processing plan. Ms. Poland.
Yes, a copy of the plan is included in your packet. This plan is similar to our AV processing plans that we've used in previous elections and has worked well for us. The board is required to approve this plan. After approval, it will be submitted to the Secretary of State's office.
Right. I'll move approval of the plan. It's worked well for us in the past, so I'll move approval.
Second. Any more discussion? All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Anyone abstaining? And that motion carries. Thank you. Next is discussion of the November 5th, 2024 presidential general election preparation. Ms. Poland.
Yes, staff would just like to give the board an update on our preparations. As we mentioned, I think in the spring, our full-time staff has undergone a series of summer training programs. That's included cybersecurity training, which is an annual training, Ohio Ethics Commission training, the AG Sunshine Law Training, Hamilton County Civil Treatment Training, Hamilton County Sheriff's Deputy Run, Hide, Fight Training. Again, this is all full-time staff. Attended a poll worker training class. We have the last of our absentee processing training going on this morning so that all of our full-time staff can pitch in and help out in that area where needed. We're almost finished. We have an election administration training class tomorrow, which the deputy director and I are presenting. And then we have a representative from CISA coming to our board next week for physical security training. And all of our full-time employees have renewed their criminal background checks as required by board policy.
Busy.
Thank you for the update.
We are at 591,364 registered voters, and our staff have processed 13,052 absentee ballot requests. We started the summer with a little bit of a backlog, and now we are up to date. So the AV department has done a wonderful job getting us up to speed there. Those ballots, of course, will all be mailed out on the first day of early voting. We also consulted with an electrician to determine how many check-in stations we can safely fit in our early vote center based on the electricity that's available there. And they worked with us, and we were able to fit in 40 check-in stations, which is more than we've ever had. So that building should be running pretty efficiently when it opens for voting.
Fantastic. That was a concern that I was raised before. And it's also good that we can share that information, because what it means is we're minimizing the time they're standing waiting to get in to vote, correct? And we've got staffing that can cover all those areas.
Yes, we've hired almost 200 temporary employees to help us out during the process, so we will be very well staffed.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Thank you. Any other business?
Just a note for the next board meeting, was originally scheduled for September 10th. However, the deputy director and I will both be at the Election Center Conference on the 10th, so we're recommending that we move your next regularly scheduled meeting to September 4th at 8:30. It's a Wednesday.
I don't have my phone with me, but that should work.
We can circulate by email.
Okay.
But just wanted to note that if we could, that would be our recommendation.
Number 4th?
Yes.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay.
Okay.
And then,
Trouble to ask you to text me about that.
yes, once we have confirmation from
Yeah.
the chair and
I'll
board
let
member
you know.
Mallory. And then just in case, we'd like to pencil in another special meeting date. The deadline to file charter amendments is September 6th. So if a charter amendment would be filed on the 4th, 5th, or 6th of September, you would have to meet again to certify that charter amendment. So we're just asking you to hold, if available, September 13th at 8:30.
I will be out of the country.
I'll be in Findlay, Ohio.
September 12th.
I can do that day. I can do that morning.
So again, we'll check with the chair and with board member Mallory to see if the 12th works for them, and we'll communicate that through email.
So it's the 12th at 8:30.
Yes.
Okay.
That would only need to be held if a charter amendment is filed on the 4th, 5th, or 6th of September.
Okay.
And that's all from staff.
I have something on the under business category. I know there's some public interest in our Black Fork strategies, potentially and seemingly fraudulent registrations. And I know from some communication with the director that now is a criminal investigation, and we have been instructed to let the criminal process play out. Is that a fair
Yes,
summary of where
I
we are?
believe we just received word from the Secretary of State's office that they have investigated and forwarded information regarding Black Fork strategy registrations, as well as libertarian part petitions that staff had reviewed and found to be suspicious. Per the directive, those petitions had to be immediately sent to the Public Integrity Division, and that's what we did.
Okay.
We've since then received confirmation that they've forwarded those on to our prosecutor's
I
office.
have nothing else on. I just wanted to make sure, because we had discussed putting it back on the agenda and giving us an update, and I wanted to explain to the public why that had not occurred. So, and, well, it sort of occurred in other business, but that's all I'll say about it. So, thank you.
Okay. Any, Mr. Linzer, do you have any other business? We have Kenny from the Secretary of State's office here with us. He's a great liaison for us between our local board and the Secretary of State's office. Do you have an update for us?
Good morning. Well, as
Good morning.
Director Pullen said, yesterday, Secretary LaRose announced that he formally referred evidence of suspected election law violations to 20 county prosecutors for review and possible criminal prosecution. So Hamilton County was one of the 20. There are 19 other counties. And obviously, since it is pending, we can't speak towards it. I did want to also add two other things. When we were here about 2 weeks ago on Wednesday or Thursday, the Board of Elections hosted a great tabletop with over a dozen other counties and some elections partners. So we wanted to thank you for that. The SOS staff that attended it. I mean, the scenarios that we discussed and went over were very valuable, especially to other counties that couldn't be here. So thank you for hosting that. And I missed the July meeting, but I have to formally put on the record, congratulations again to Sherry for being one of the 2 election officials of the year that was recognized at the SOS Summer Conference. So Sherry has done so much for Hamilton County, obviously, but I talk with Sherry a lot, and she helps out my other counties tremendously. So that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Kenny.
Yes, I was. Thanks.
Good morning.
Hey. Oh, thank you. Strzelecki. I can spell it for you later. I am here as a citizen volunteer, and I am proud to say that I've been establishing a nice relationship with everybody here, and especially with Sherry, Alex, and Chuck, working. Myself and Liz Burwell, we presented a number of lists of people who we've learned have moved out of state to other states. And today I'm talking primarily about North Carolina, people that have submitted a national change of address. They've registered to vote in North Carolina, and they have voted in North Carolina. And I am going to make a formal challenge, and I know that Alex and Chuck and Sherry are probably not surprised. We've had conversations about whether or not I should or shouldn't, and we've been working to sort of resolve some of these, but I do have about 50 unresolved North Carolina electors from Ohio that we feel, based on the 3503.02H, that states that if you go into another state and exercise your citizen right to vote, and you vote in that state, that you lose residency here in Ohio. And the people that we're submitting, I do have screenshots that are directly from the North Carolina Board of Elections.gov website. And I'd like to see these explored more, because some of these people have not only voted once in North Carolina, but twice, and some of them have voted as recently as March 5th, 2024. So to me, that's a clear indication that their intent is to live in North Carolina, and that their residency here in Ohio should be challenged. So I'm putting forth those 257s today and asking for further exploration of this, and hoping that we can come to some better resolution, because a number of notifications have been sent. I am proud to say that of this work, about 35% of those have returned their confirmation that they did indeed move, but that leaves 65% that were either undelivered or no response whatsoever. So those are the ones that I would like to challenge. And again, I know that everyone here does a great job. I've witnessed it with everything that I've learned since starting attending meetings in January. So there's never been a question of whether you're doing your job or not. It's just, these are folks that could have possibly been picked up by Eric because they were in 2022, 2023, and they weren't. So we're just here as citizens to try and help make sure that our voter rolls are of the highest integrity, and I know that's everyone's goal here as well. So,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'll move to adjourn.
Need a second?
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed or abstaining? None but the devil. This meeting is adjourned.
Thank you. Thank you.